Well, it's great to see Topper sports season kicking off again. I'm Troy Hughes. I'm the fire chief here in Los Alamos. And we're glad to see COVID kind of waning and people getting back to their normal activities. One of the things that hurt us during this time period was our lack of people. So we need recruits. We need cadets to come to work for Los Alamos Fire Department. It's a great career, very rewarding, good pay, good benefits, great retirement. You get to work out and maintain your Topper strength. So we're hoping that a few good people will come to work for us in the next year, and we hope that the Toppers win. So go Toppers.
Hello, I'm Deputy Chief Oliver Morris of the Los Alamos Police Department, and I just want to take a few moments of your time to talk about some safety initiatives that we want to bring forth to the community as the 2022-2023 school year starts in Los Alamos. School is right around the corner, and we want to remind parents and students to make sure that you leave enough time to get to school on time so we're not rushing. As you can see behind me, all school zones are 15 miles an hour when students are going to school, even if they're not present. So let's slow down and just make sure our students are safe. Secondly, I want to remind us that when the buses are stopped and their stop signs and lights are activated, we want traffic to stop in both directions to allow time for students to cross the street to keep them safe. The other thing I want to talk about is our school campuses. It's important to remember that during school, campuses are closed to the general public, as well as the playgrounds and facilities, while school is in session. This also includes Sullivan Field and the Sullivan Field parking lot. We want to make sure that school is meant for just school hours and school staff. Please check in with the staff regularly if you're going to be planning on visiting our campuses. We have a long history at Los Alamos to have amazing school resource officers. These officers are there to provide an atmosphere of safety and security for our students and faculty, but they're also there to foster positive relationships with students. So we use our school resource officers just to ensure that everything is safe in our schools. The other thing I'd like to direct our community to is on the losalamosschools.net website. If you click on the Safety and Wellness section, you will see that there's the See Something, Say Something app. This app is a great tool to report anything that has to do with safety, whether it's bullying or whether it's a suspicious person on campus or anything you think is safety related for our schools. Please use this app to report any suspicious behavior so that we can work in concert with the Los Alamos Public Schools to make sure everyone is safe. And that's the final message that I have for you today, and I just want to make sure that we have a safe and fun school year, and go Toppers.
Hi there, my name is Kristen O'Hara, and I'm the Director of Interpretation at Pajarito Environmental Education Center. We are the nonprofit that runs the Los Alamos Nature Center. Bears are active in Los Alamos during spring, summer, and fall. New Mexico Game and Fish recommend the following 6 bear-wise basics to keep you and our bears safe. Do not feed or approach bears. Whether it's unintentional or intentional, feeding black bear in our community is incentivizing them to come into our residential neighborhoods for food, and we do not want to do that. They are wild animals. They're equipped for finding food themselves. Our people food is not the best thing for them. As far as approaching bears in the wild, it is best to stay away from black bear. If a black bear hasn't seen you and you happen to see one across the street from you, take a moment to have that beautiful experience, but do not approach a black bear. Make sure to secure your garbage cans and recycling. Bears have a very keen sense of smell and can rip open garbage cans very easily, so having them secured with some sort of bungee cord or something to keep the lids down is the best way to keep our bears in our community safe. Remove bird feeders during prime active bear times. Black bears in Los Alamos are active anywhere between the very end of April, May to the middle of November. So during those times, anything we can do to keep our bears safe by not giving them food is better for bears and better for us. So at night, for instance, at the Nature Center, we take down the bird feeders that we have outside and put them back up in the morning. So that is something you can do. But if you do have a bear at your house that has eaten from your feeders, make sure to take your feeders down for a length of time around 2 weeks, so the bear does not acclimatize to coming to your house for food. Do not leave your pet food outside. If you happen to feed your animals outdoors, put your food bowls out there, make sure your animals have your fill, but make sure you bring them in after your animal is done eating. That'll, again, keep the bears safe. Clean and store your grills. That means cleaning your grills thoroughly, removing all fat and food that could have dropped in the base of the grill, and then storing it in an inaccessible place, so a place the bears cannot get to, like a garage or even inside your house, if that's a possibility. I know not everybody has a garage, but just keeping in mind a good place to store a grill that is away from that can be away from bears accessing it. And I guess our last bear safety tip is to tell your neighbors, communicate with your neighbors and your friends about bears that have been spotted in the area, or these safety tips that you've learned here today. The more knowledge we can give to our neighbors and our friends, the better, and it will keep our bear neighbors and our human neighbors as safe as possible. Good luck, toppers, on your season.
Hi, I'm Curtis Christensen, Managing Director of the Los Alamos Program Management Office here at TechSource. TechSource is honored to have the opportunity to support Hilltoppers basketball. We are part of the lab's triad team working towards mission delivery, and we are part of the community right here, living the example that it is team that gets it done. To borrow some of the famous Coach Wooden's words, the main ingredient to winning is team. All the team. The players that listen, push, and focus during practice, the support from the bench, and those 5 on the court. Los Alamos is a special community. We count ourselves lucky to be able to have the opportunity to support its people, events, and organizations. Good luck today. Go Toppers.
Join the University of New Mexico Los Alamos for the exceptional education. Join us for the small class sizes. Join us for the quality faculty and staff who are dedicated to your success. Whatever your reason for joining us, start here, go anywhere. Go Hilltoppers.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome once again to Griffith Gymnasium, and welcome to this presentation of Hilltopper Boys Basketball brought to you by Carol Clark and the Los Alamos Daily Post, and we certainly do appreciate them making all this possible to bring you these ball games tonight. The Hilltoppers will go up against the Academy Chargers, and I don't know, Mike, is it Gene Mortensen with Mike Mays? And I don't know, Mike, it seems like every time we come to this gym and we face somebody, I say, it's an old rival. and once again, the Capital is Academy is an old rival, and I'm telling you that the history between these two schools is amazing, especially like in basketball. But I mean, you look at all the other sports, cross country and swimming and the soccer. It's just it's amazing the interaction between these two schools. But tonight, it's going to be the Hilltoppers going up against the Academy Chargers. The Chargers coming into the ballgame are looking pretty good. They're 9-2 on the season. They have a lot of height. Hilltoppers are 4-9, and so Mike, the Hilltoppers, I don't know what they're going to do to neutralize that height, but they're going to have to figure out something.
Well, I think the smart money for the Toppers tonight would be on utilizing their speed, and that's going to start with guard Josiah Fresquez. He is just a sophomore. He's only 5'6". He's going to be one of, if not the shortest guy on the court most of the night. But he's really the engine that's going to drive the Toppers, especially on the offensive side. Height-wise, Los Alamos really just doesn't have much of a match for anybody on Academy. But like you said, Gene, I mean, just top to bottom, you'd be hard-pressed to find two more well-matched, more even schools in terms of athletic ability, in terms of championships, in terms of the things they can do than Los Alamos and Albuquerque Academy. Always a lot of fun. We enjoy having Academy up here. We enjoy going down there. Just it's always a whole lot of fun.
I missed their tournament.
You know, I really don't. It's not like they gave us anything decent to eat or anything over there. So, wow. I mean, I've been to buffets in Vegas that didn't feed you as well as they did at the Academy tournament. That was fantastic.
That hospitality room at that tournament was unbelievable. I mean, that was one of the main reasons we went. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry I interrupted you. Go ahead.
Well, Albuquerque Academy just, these two schools have been playing each other for 100 years, and a lot of good, just a great rivalry, very friendly rivalry, and very evenly matched, just almost top to bottom. Boys, girls, doesn't matter. So we're always thrilled to see Academy.
And now we have the national anthem here at Griffith Gymnasium.
And that was the national anthem. We're just about ready to go here. Starting things off for the Chargers, they're going to start a 6-foot senior, Kellen Gares, I guess, and a 6-foot junior, Dylan McCluskey, Joe Jack, a 6'3" junior, Justin Mask, a 6-foot junior, and 6'2" senior Andres Rivera. That is the Academy Chargers for the topper tonight. Again, will be without their big point getter, Nico Garcia. He is out for this contest as well. They're going to start Kyle Evanhus. He is a sophomore. Another sophomore, Zach Morrow. Sophomore, Ethan Mondragon. Another sophomore, Josiah Fresquez. And to break the string, a 6'2" senior, Rick Valdez. So Toppers with a small lineup going against some big trees here to start things off at Academy. But see if the Toppers can get things running. I think that's what they're going to need to do tonight.
Yeah, they're going to have to. It's interesting because the Toppers do like the outside game. They're going to need a fairly decent outside game, but they cannot just come down and fire up threes. They're going to have to move the ball around and get some penetration and kind of neutralize. Of course, they underneath you 6'3", 6'2", but they're going to challenge those guys. But the whole thing is just like Mike said, you have a speed situation, and some pretty good ball handlers. Josiah Frescas loves to penetrate, and he penetrates, and then he makes some unbelievable moves, put a shot up. So he does pretty well, but they're just going to have to do something about on the defensive side. We have a technical foul called against Los Alamos, and I'm not sure what for. A lot of times it's because the book is they screwed up the book or didn't put something in the book or didn't. Well, I could say they didn't get it in time, but they don't even pay any attention to that anymore. But Kellen Garris goes to the free throw line and starts things off and pops in 2 free throws. So before we even start the ball game, it's 2-0 Academy, and Academy, of course, a technical foul. They throw it in, so we don't even jump it up. So they get it underneath, and the shot is partially blocked. Hilltoppers come down with a rebound. Coming up for Los Alamos right now is Ethan Mondragon. Mondragon on the dribble. He's going to hand it over to Josiah Frescas. Frescas going to penetrate, go up, puts the shot up. It's off. Rebound is going to come down to Kellen Garris. Garris, a very, very good ball player. We've seen him for a couple of years, and there's a three-point shot from the right corner by Joe Jack, the 6'3" junior, and that makes it a 5-0 ball game. So Academy starting off with a 2-0 lead, and now that three-pointer. So 5-0 lead for and Kyle Evan, who's going to get it. He's going to hand it off now to Zach Morrow. Morrow going to penetrate right down the middle of the lane. Shot rolls around and comes off. We're going to have a foul on the rebound. That was going to go to Zach Morrow as the rebound came down to Andres Rivera. And I'm not sure what the foul was about because Andres Rivera had that rebound 100%. There wasn't anything they could do about that. Full court press by Los Alamos, easily broken by Academy underneath, wide open underneath. So I think the Hilltoppers need to take off the press. Andres Rivera drops it in for 2. That makes it the 7-0 ball game. We're just underway here. Josiah Frescas dishes it off underneath to cutting Rick Valdez. Valdez cutting in from the right wing. And Josiah penetrating into the free throw circle, and the personal foul is going to go this time to Joe Jack, and that's going to be Joe or Jack. That's going to be Jack's. That's not easy. That's Jack's first team foul, and at the free throw line is Rick Valdez. And he drops them both in. So the Hilltoppers get into the scoring column. The only senior on the Hilltopper team. And he pops it in. 3-point shot from way out. Long rebound. That shot taken by Dylan McCleskey. And a long rebound comes down to the Hilltoppers. They get it to Josiah Frescas. 3-point shot by Josiah. Josiah is off. Rebound is run down by Academy. They quickly get it up the floor, and here they come in a hurry. Kellen Garris over in the corner, A good defense that time for Los Alamos momentarily, but then penetrating down the lane that time was Justin Mask. And then at the last second, I thought he was going to shoot. He decided to flip it across the lane to Andres Rivera on the other side. Rivera wasn't ready. So
I think he was expecting him to shoot as well. Mask had a perfect look. I'm not sure why he gave it up.
Yeah, I know it. And I think that's what happened, Rivera. So the shot taken by Los Alamos is off, and fast break by Boy Academy. Boy, you don't run it. You do not run a fast break any easier or any better than that. Joe Jack finishing it off for 2 points. Make it 9-2. 15-footer taken by the shot by Kyle Evanhoose. This rebound comes down to Academy. Academy on the run. 5 minutes and 15 seconds to go. They almost lose it out of bounds. Saving it back in was Dylan McCleskey. McCleskey will get it into the corner on the left side, and then Justin Mask, the 6-foot junior, takes it in the corner over on the left corner, and then decides to just head right down the baseline. Goes down the baseline and drops it in. And Hilltoppers are going to take a 30-second timeout as they find themselves down by 9 right off the bat here at Griffith Gymnasium. Academy, we knew Academy was going to be tough. They're 9-2, and it's been a 9-2 on the season. And not only that, Mike, but if you look at their schedule, I mean, they've played a pretty tough schedule, and they've beaten some pretty good teams, and especially some of the teams that we had trouble with. Academy had no trouble with.
Yeah, so Academy very good early on in this season, very good early on in this ball game. Have really gone to the basket anytime they wanted to, and I tell you what, that fast break they had a little while ago, you can't run a fast break better than they ran it.
Oh my God, that was pretty the way they ran that break. Jeez. So the Hilltoppers now get it over to Ethan Mondragon. Mondragon will take it down low to Kyle Evanhoose. Evanhoose picks up his dribble. Finally gets it out to Rick Valdez. Rick's going to penetrate. Nice move by Rick Valdez down the right side of the lane. And Rick, like I say, the only senior on the team right now, has all the points for Los Alamos. 11-4, Kellen Garris, 3-point shot. Up and in. And I had mentioned Kellen Garris before. We've seen him for the last couple of years. And he finally is a senior, finally. But, well, I mean, he's been a thorn in our side every single game that we played. Rick Valdez is going to try to penetrate again as he backs in. Wow. So he just backed in right against Joe Jack. And then a little turnaround jumper. Rick has 6 points. And 14-6. Wide open underneath. They get the pass inside to Andres Rivera. Rivera puts it in for 2. He has 4 points. Makes it 16-6. A 10-point lead. Josiah Frescas starts, I don't know if he was going to shoot or pass, but whatever it was blocked. Kellen Garris comes down the floor and lays it in. So they got the ball to Kellen, and he just took off. But Josiah, I don't know, Mike, if he was passing or shooting.
I don't know. I thought somebody maybe got a hand on the ball because that didn't.
Yeah, they did.
But yeah, I don't know that it would have mattered that much. I'm not sure Josiah knew what he wanted to do either. But boy, that finish by Garris, that was a complete power move. 1-on-3 went right at the basket.
Yes, he did. Underneath again, they get it to Rick Valdez. And Rick has all the points for Los Alamos right now, 18-8. And we have 2:40 to go here in the first quarter. Underneath again, wide open. Andres Rivera. He just kind of camps over on the side of the lane right under the basket, but out of the lane, of course. And then they just pop it to him. Josiah Fresca starts to go in, gets it to Gartz. And Eddie Gartz puts it in for 3. So finally, somebody else for Los Alamos scores. Makes it now 22-11. Garris with the 3-point shot. That's good.
Three-point basket, Kellen Garrett.
And so that's his second three-pointer, and right now he has 9 points or 10 points in this ball game.
And that should be no surprise whatsoever to Los Alamos. Garris just kind of does whatever he does, and more often than not, it works.
Yes, it does. Very, very good ball player, and I could say he's been a tough one for us. There's a steal, and boy, I mean, there was a loose ball momentarily, and Justin Mask, he just suddenly broke out and grabbed it. Hilltoppers could have gotten to it, but Mask was just quicker, and that's all there is to it. 25-11. Pass, Josiah Frescas penetrates in and tries to dish it underneath to Rick Valdez, and pass goes wide.
I think Valdez, I think his left arm was kind of hooked by one of the Chargers underneath. He couldn't get to the ball. Nothing called. But actually, it looked like a pretty good pass, and Valdez was open momentarily, but he only had the one arm.
Yeah, that's it. So the three-point shot taken by Academy. That one is off by Joe Jack. And Hilltopper bring it up to Josiah Frescas. Frescas is going to penetrate in, dishes it underneath. Nice penetration, gets it into Ben McBride, who has checked in for Los Alamos. And Ben, the junior, puts it in for two. But a great penetration that time by Josiah. They bring the ball, Academy brings the ball across the timeline, and they give it to Kellen Garris, and Garris moves his pivot foot. Unbelievable. So he gets called for the travel. Makes it now 25-13, and we're under a minute to go here. 45 seconds. Josiah, who loves to shoot the three, has not shot a three yet. I'm really surprised. And he's done a lot of penetrating. Gets the screen. There's a three-point shot. That's good. Josiah Frescas with the three as he got the screen, that time from Ben McBride. So Frescas finally picks up some points, and then on the other end, they get it inside to Justin Mask underneath. He has now 6 points in the ball game, makes it 28-16. We're down to 12 seconds to go here in this first quarter. And Josiah Frescas all the way out at half court, 9 seconds to go. And there goes another three by Josiah. That bounces around and comes off. Rebound comes down to Kellen Garris. Baseball pass down the floor. And that will end the first quarter as Academy quickly moves out to a 28-16 lead here.
Let's take this opportunity to meet the Hilltopper cheerleaders, the Hilltopper cheer team.
So Academy up by 12 after one period of play.
First, let's meet the freshmen.
Yeah, so actually, pretty decent offensive quarter there for Los Alamos. Got to do some good things. Got the ball inside of Valdez a couple of times. Frescas finally got loose, hit a three-pointer. So not a bad offensive quarter for Los Alamos, but boy, the Chargers just on the other end did whatever they wanted, whenever they wanted. No problem. Andres Rivera, just camped out on the low block right there, all by himself, knocked in a couple of really easy shots. Joe Jack with a nice three-pointer, Justin Mask with a late three-pointer, and then Kellen Garrett just doing what he does. And Los Alamos has not, it's been 3-4 years now. Los Alamos has just not been able to figure out how to slow him down. But in any event, 28-16 in favor of Los Alamos. Cheerleaders are here, Gene. We could have used them a little while ago in the JV game.
Yeah. I get that. You get that ball stuck at the back. Well, the last time they did it, they had to bring the cheerleaders out and build a pyramid and then give them a hockey stick. Let her knock the ball loose. So we're ready to go here for the quarter number two as the Hilltoppers will inbound it. Josiah Frescas on the dribble once again out on top. Now he's going to bring it over this time. And to Ethan Mondragon. Mondragon to Ben McBride. McBride gets it in to Rick Valdez. Valdez is going to power his way to the basket. So Rick Valdez is he's just taken over inside for Los Alamos. And he just powers his way in. 3-point shot from way out. Whoa. I mean, that was way out there. And he drops in the 3. 9 points now for Justin Mask. But boy, what a beautiful shot that was. And boy, he was about NBA range on that one. Pass comes now over to Ethan Mondragon. Pass is stolen away. Academy, I started to break. They decided to pull up. So let's shoot a 3. What the heck? And so the 3-point shot is off by Justin Mask. Rebound comes down to the Hilltoppers. Second quarter, and we got just under 7 minutes to go. And going to the basket uncontested. Nobody got in his way. Nobody even tried to block a shot. Nothing. And so Zaya Frescas just takes it right to the hole and lays it in, makes it 31-20. Kellen Garris does the same thing, but his shot is short. Rebound comes down to the Hilltoppers. They'll get to the Frescas. Josiah comes across the timeline. Still on a dribble. Mountaineer in a half-court circle. He's going to bring it all the way over on the other side. Now to Ethan Mondragon. Mondragon near half court. Now he's going to make a move. And so they get it to this time to Samuel Carmer. And Carmer, who has checked in, and he gets it to Ben McBride. McBride kind of trying to come down the left side of the lane, has the ball knocked out of his hands, out of bounds. And so we're going to have it checking out of the ball game from Los Alamos is Ethan Mondragon.
Chargers number 15, Eric Garcia.
And so the Hilltoppers will inbound it. And here comes Rick Valdez again. And powers his way to the basket again.
This is about as aggressive, I think, as we've seen Rick this entire year.
Totally.
Now
totally.
One of the reasons maybe we haven't seen that is because Rick always seems to be in foul trouble. Well, he hadn't picked up a foul yet, but wow, just a couple of just complete power moves underneath the basket for Rick. He's having himself a ball game.
Yes, he really is. And Josiah Frescas comes out on the left wing, and then he cuts to the basket, and he lays it in with the left hand. So the Hilltoppers trying to crawl back into this ball game. It's 31-24. So they've cut that 12-point lead down to 7, and that gives Josiah now 7 points in the ball game. But you're right. I mean, I have not seen Rick Valdez be that aggressive, not once this entire season. And like Mike says, he spends a lot of time on the bench in foul trouble. But even when he's on the bench, especially when we have Nico Garcia there, we have more of an outside game with Nico and Josiah. And so but tonight, boy, they are using Rick Valdez to great advantage, and Rick is doing a fantastic job. The only senior, the Hilltoppers have one senior. They've got two juniors, 8 sophomores, and 2 freshmen, and they now have 13 players on the team. They only had 10 prior to this game, and so they brought up 3 from the junior varsity, and that added a couple of sophomores and a freshman. So we get it to Kellen Garris, cutting that right down the right side of the lane. Shot blocked by Ben McBride. Beautiful block that time by McBride. And so as they came in trying to put up the layup, Josiah gets a screen, starts to go with the 3, decides not to, gets it over now to Zach Morrow. Morrow, he's going to try to penetrate in. He gets it out, trying to get the pass to Ben McBride. That's intercepted by Kellen Garris. 3-point shot. And that should be a 2. His foot was on the line.
It absolutely was. Big toe right on the line. And official looked like he was in a pretty good spot to see that, but should have been a 2.
Yeah, it was definitely, he definitely pulled up, put his foot right on the line and shot. So Ben McBride with a 3-point shot. That's off. Rebound down to Academy. Here comes Kellen Garris in a hurry. 4:15 to go. Garris, 3-point shot. Rims around and comes off. Rebound is going to be pulled down by Andres Rivera. Rivera is going to get it inside to Justin Mask. Back to Rivera. And Rivera puts it in for 2.
Hilltopper foul charge to Samuel Carter.
And we have a personal foul call, and so Andres Rivera will go to the free throw line. That's only the second team foul on Los Alamos.
I think they gave that to Carmer. They did not put it up on the board, but I'm pretty sure they gave the foul to him, and that would be his first as Rivera completes the three-point play. But, boy, Rivera just making his living down there in the low block.
Boy, is he ever. And so, interesting enough, Mike, nobody has missed a free throw yet in this ball game. They haven't shot that many, but now they will get the ball now to.
Oh, Valdez with another strong move, puts up the jumper, hangs on the back of the rim for an hour and a half, then falls off.
Kellen Garris, three-point shot on the way. Rebound comes down to Samuel Carmer. Carmer will get it to Josiah Frescas. Frescas will bring it up, 37-24. Right now, with 3:20 to go here. Josiah Frescas goes up, puts up a wild shot in traffic. Rebound is going to come down now to Justin Mask. Mask almost has the ball stolen away from behind by Rick Valdez. Now checking in for Los Alamos will be Eddie Gartz. And also into the ball game, Mike, let's see. We have Luke Archuleta. And Luke, a young man, plays on the junior varsity, and they brought him up for this ball game. And I don't have any height on him, but he is fairly tall, and I'm sure he's a sophomore. Everybody's a sophomore.
Yeah, the fair chance he's a sophomore, but he's matched up against your man Joe Jack there.
No. So Josiah Frescas has the ball knocked away from behind, and it comes right to Academy coming down. We should have had a traveling violation called against Academy, but it doesn't matter because he lost the handle anyway. Eddie Gartz with a three. That's rims around and comes off. Battle for the rebound. That's going to be pulled down by Andres Rivera. Rivera is going to get it up the floor to Dylan McCluskey. McCluskey, boy, was wanting to shoot from way out with Joe Jack that time. And we're going to have a personal foul called against Luke Archuleta. That's going to be his first. That's the fourth team foul on Los Alamos. Only one team foul has been called on Academy, and that's on Joe Jack. 2:23 to go here in the first quarter, in the first half of play. The ball out of bounds off of the Hilltoppers will be inbounded near mid-court by Academy. They finally bring it into the backcourt, and they bring it into Dylan McCluskey. So right now the head coach of in the corner, three-point shot. That's off. Rebound pulled down by Luke Archuleta. Nice rebound. And so Mike, so far, Mark DeBaca, the head coach of Academy, he's pretty well played his starters the whole way. There hadn't been much substitution on the Academy side. Hilltoppers get it now to Rick Valdez. Valdez underneath. Ball is knocked loose, picked up by Samuel Carmer. Carmer gets it to Eddie Gartz, 15-footer. That's blocked, but the block shot comes right down to Kyle Evan, Kevin tries to put it back up in traffic, and he has a shot blocked. Minute 39 to go.
Wow, this first half just roared by.
Well, has it ever? We've only had, 5 team fouls called total. Luke Archuleta will now check out. Good job.
Yeah, 5 total team fouls, and one of them was pre-tip.
Yes. So they had so the ball is knocked away from Eddie Gartz, but Eddie Gartz is able to pick up the loose ball and head to the basket and lay it in. So he now has 5 points. It's now 37-26. And then they get the ball underneath to Dylan McCluskey, and the 6-foot junior puts it in for 2. That's his first points in the ball game. Makes it 39-26. Ball's on the floor. Also on the floor is Dylan McCluskey. McCluskey gets up, coming down. They get the ball to him, and he's going to take it all the way to the basket. Whoa. So they had a loose ball under the Hilltopper basket and a little scramble for it. Dylan McCluskey goes down, and then he jumps up, heads running down the floor. They get it to him as he crosses the timeline, and then he decides to go straight to the hole and lay it in. And the personal foul will go to Kyle Evanhoose. That's going to be his first, and that is the 15th foul on Los Alamos. So there's actually been only 14 fouls called on Los Alamos. The tech counts as a team foul, and that would go against the bench or against the coach or whoever fills out the book.
That might have been one of the managers or something. Here you go, 13-year-old girl. You get a technical foul.
Josiah Frescas makes a nice move down to the baseline, puts up a little 10-footer. Nice looking shot by Josiah. We have 25 seconds to go. 41-28, 13-point lead, and now Academy is just going to sit on it. So standing out in the corner, in the coffin corner at half court with the ball is Joe Jack. Jack is going to get it over now to Jack Johnson, who had just checked in. Joe Jack Johnson.
John Jackson, just they got it all.
Yeah, they do. Shot taken from outside by Dylan McCluskey, and that hits the rim and goes out of it, and then makes a long rebound toward the sideline. 9/10 of a second to go. Eddie Garz heaves it down the floor, and that'll bring the first half to an end. As the Hilltoppers had a pretty good quarter that time against the Chargers. Chargers coming up with 13 points in that quarter, and the Hilltoppers coming up with 12. So at least they played an even quarter this time after Academy dominated that first quarter. So it's but right now 28-41.
Yep. So gotta obviously got up to a bit of a rough start. The Hilltoppers did, but offensively they have played pretty well. They're doing a lot of good things on the offensive end. The one thing the Topper coaches are going to have to talk about if they ever get to the locker room. They're just kind of they're not even halfway over there yet. The team's been in the locker room for a while. They're just
I think they're heading for the concession stand.
They might be. You see those nachos? They look pretty darn good tonight. But in any event, what the Toppers are going to have to figure out is how to slow this Academy attack down. And boy, oh boy, where do you even start? I mean, as you said, Academy's pretty much played their starters the entire way. But I got to tell you, everybody that has been every one of their starters has contributed on the offensive end, and every one of them can do almost anything that's asked of them. Andres Rivera has just been dominating inside. Kellen Garez had just a monster first quarter, slowed down a little bit in the second quarter. But Justin Mask, he can play inside, he can play outside. And Dylan McCluskey, who'd been pretty quiet up to that point, the last couple of minutes, had a nice couple of minutes for Academy right before the half. So, I mean, where do you start? I mean, that's what I guess with the Toppers are going to have to figure out. If they clamp down a little bit on defense, we saw them get back into this ball game with a little bit of a run there toward the beginning of the second quarter. So it can be done. The question is just, where do you want to defensively kind of put your chips down at this point? But offensively, boy, this is one of the better games I think we've seen out of the Toppers this year. They've done a lot of things really, really nicely. They're playing decent inside and outside game. The Chargers actually doing a fair job on Josiah Fresquez. He really hasn't had a whole lot of daylight to do a whole lot to make a whole lot of shots or anything, but he has given the ball up. Had a couple of nice assists in that first half, and still came up with 9 points. So he's still doing what he needs to do. But nice first half offensively. Rick Valdez, boy, oh boy, where did that come from? He has just been all over the place, and he's 6'2", but he's playing against some tall trees, and he is he's doing quite well underneath the basket. This is really refreshing to see Rick have that kind of first half that he had.
Yeah, I have him for 12 points, and all of his points are coming with. This is the best game I've seen the Hilltoppers play all year, as far as like as a total team. Penetrations, passes inside, taking it to the hole. Usually, we haven't seen the other players, especially like Rick Valdez. I haven't seen him all year take it to the hole and take it to the basket. The power moves that he's had tonight, he just hasn't been demonstrating that at all. Most of the game for Los Alamos has been coming down to Josiah Frescas and Nico Garcia. We haven't had a whole lot of inside play against most of these teams, and so the Hilltoppers, at one point, it was like live by the three or die by the three, but they've kind of gotten away from that, fortunately. And so now tonight, they're doing a good job. And not only Rick, but everybody is penetrating, doing a good job. They're really hustling. And as Mike said, the biggest problem is that we just have no answer for their big kids underneath the basket. And they just hit Andres Rivera. He's a 6'2" senior. And Justin Mask, he's also a 6' junior, but they just kind of set up under the basket and they're open. More than not. So they just kind of dish it into those guys, and those guys are getting some pretty easy layups. But the Hilltoppers are doing a good job, and the defense isn't too bad, except that it's just that I don't know. We just lose everything when it comes on the basket. We're trying to challenge the ball and go out against who's play against the ball, and sometimes they seem to forget about the big guys under the basket because they've been wide open, and not so much in the second quarter as they were in the first quarter. They were just wide open one after another, and he's playing tonight. He did bring in at the same time. I don't think he's done this all season long, but Ben McBride and Samuel Carmer. Carmer is 6'2". Ben's about the same height almost. So he's finally brought in the two big kids. And Luke Archuleta, who's a JV player, he's a pretty good player. So he brought him into the ball game, and he has a little bit of height too. And I'm not sure. I think he's probably a sophomore, like I said. But it's been a heck of it's been a good ball game. And the way it started, I thought, oh my God, this is going to be a long night. But so far, it was a good first half and a fun half to watch. You got some points for us?
Sure do. So for the Chargers, Kellen Garris, no surprise, he had 10 points in that first quarter. Hit the two technical foul shots, and he has 13. Actually had the 10 points in the first quarter, only got a couple of shots off in that second quarter. Toppers kept a little bit better eye on him. He did hit a 3, so he has 13. He is the leading scorer so far for this ball game. Justin Mask with 10 points, and he's got a good stroke from inside and outside. So he's going to be definitely a challenge to guard. And 9 points for Andres Rivera, who dominated inside on the Academy offensive end. For Los Alamos, Rick Valdez, boy, what a first half he had. 12 points. He had 8 of those come in the first quarter. A couple of nice power moves by Valdez, and looked very, very good underneath. He is not the tallest guy underneath, but he was making his presence known early in this ball game. Also 9 points for Josiah Fresquez. Only 1 3. He's only attempted a couple. Hit the hit one late in the first quarter and had a couple of nice jumpers in the second quarter. And 4 points for Eddie Gartz and a bucket for Ben McBride, who also had a nice block in that second quarter against, I believe that was Rivera. So Toppers, boy, oh boy, you know, you got to give them credit. They have risen to this challenge tonight. This is a very, very good team they're facing. The Chargers, as you said, Gene, they have played a couple of really, they played a pretty formidable schedule and have just lost the 2 ball games. And Toppers, especially tonight, playing without, their number one, Nico Garcia. Nico he got banged up from what I understand, and they're just kind of waiting for him to get back. They said he could have been. They were hoping he was going to be back for this ball game, but obviously didn't make it back for the ball game. But they are hoping to have him back at some point this week. This is, by the way, a very, very busy week for the Hilltopper boys. 3 ball games. And you're going to get to hear all of them here on the Daily Post YouTube channel. But a lot going on here. And as we inch closer and closer, I can't believe it. We're already knocking on the door of the district district season. That blows my mind.
I know that's going to start up next week. And right now, our situation is faces on Thursday night or Thursday or Friday. I can't remember which night it is. We play Aztec, and the boys will play Aztec here. And then on Saturday, that's a Saturday afternoon game, the Hilltoppers will play Mayamura from Gallup. And so we're about ready to go here for half number 2, and the Hilltoppers, or the Academy, will inbound it. So they do, and they bring it on in. And so here we go, off and running. Get it over to Dylan McCluskey. McCluskey's going to take it to the hole, dishes it off at the last second. Andres Rivera. Rivera is covered, so he dishes it out on top, and then they get it underneath to Joe Jack, and he's open. So good ball movement that time by Academy, because the Hilltoppers played pretty good defense, but great ball movement by Academy to finally get McCluskey open. They get it now to Zach Morrow. Morrow is going to dish it over and gets it to Ethan Mondragon. His shot is off. And now Ethan all by himself down pressing, putting a lot of pressure on Justin Mass. And then finally they get it underneath, and it's kind of a wild taking anyway, pretty much of a circus shot that time was off by the Academy. So the Hilltoppers come up with their rebound. They get it now to Zach Morrow. Morrow, nice move down the left side of the lane, and then a little running jump shot from Morrow for 2. And then they get it underneath to Rivera once again. And Rivera puts it in for 2. He now has 11 points in the ball game. It's a 45-30 3-point shot on the way by Los Alamos. That's off, but it was an air ball, but it came right smack to Zach Morrow. And Morrow had an easy basket. All he had to do is put it up over the front of the rim. And just one of those ones where you're right there. All you got to do is just lay it over the front of the rim, and that's the hardest shot in the game to make. you either don't get it up high enough, or you hit the back of the iron, which he did. So anyway, the Academy now called for the traveling violation. They get it to Josiah Frescos. Frescos underneath, wide open that time. Rick Valdez, beautiful penetration by Josiah, and the last minute dish off to Valdez. Rick was wide open, and now trying to take it to the hole. Ball was knocked away, almost picked off by Rick Valdez. They get it now to Dylan McCluskey. McCluskey comes in. His shot is off. Rebound comes down to Zach Morrow. He gets it to Josiah Frescas. Frescas, we're going to have a reach-in foul go to Academy. And that one's going to go to McCluskey. And that's his first team. And that's only the second foul of the ball game on Academy.
Wow.
So let's see. Did you check the schedule?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did, and I have it. I have it memorized, and by memorized, I have it on my phone. So on Friday, Friday the 13th, the boys basketball team will be at home. They'll take on the Aztec Tigers. That's going to be at 6 p.m. So check the time on that. 6 o'clock on Friday against Aztec. And then coming back on Saturday at 4, the Toppers will take on Gallup Mayamura. And that'll be at 4 o'clock here. All of these games here at Griffith Gymnasium, by the way. If you can get over here, great. If you can't, join us here on the Daily Post YouTube channel. 6 o'clock on Friday, 4 o'clock on Saturday.
So timeout taken this time by Academy. And the pass inside is picked off by Kellen Garris. Garris is going to bring it down the court, dish it off over now to Andres Rivera. Rivera will hand it right over to Justin Mask. Mask dribbles all the way out to the half-court circle. Now he gets it once again to Kellen Garris. Garris thought he was fouled. I think he was. And now we're going to have, are they going to call Kyle Evanhoose for this? He had his hand on his back all the way. So that's his second. That's the first team foul. There are five team fouls called in Los Alamos. One of those was a technical before he even started the game. 3-point shot from out. That's way off by Joe Jack. Hilltoppers with the rebound, 45-32. Just under 5 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Thanks to Josiah Frescas. Frescas can't find anybody. Finally gets it over to Evanhoose. Evanhoose inside. Boy, beautiful move by Samuel Palmer. A little left-handed and a little short left-handed hook. And boy, he got robbed on that one because that was a beautiful shot. Ends up hitting the back of the iron. Comes down, and the Academy pulls the rebound. Baseball pass down the floor to Dylan McCluskey, and McCluskey lays it in for 2. But boy, Carmer got robbed on that. Boy, beautiful hook shot.
Boy, that was a nice move, too. Just a little drop step, and you just going with the left hand to put the hook up. I can't believe that didn't fall.
It was perfect. A beautiful shot. And a personal foul is going to go to, looks like it's going to go to Kellen Garris. That'll be his first, and that is now the second team foul of this half.
Boy, Academy just piling up the fouls here in the third quarter.
I know they got twice as many as they had in the first half. So Zach Morrow on a dribble working against the Academy zone. And Hilltopper just working around to get it in the corner. Inside it comes once again. Nice move once again inside by Samuel Carmer, but this one is blocked away. They get it in the corner. 3-point shot on the way. Rebound is going to be, coming out of nowhere to get the rebound that time was Sam James. And he just flips it over to Kellen Garris at the top of the key. And Garris puts it in for 16 points.
Well, yeah, James just came out of nowhere.
I mean,
he was nowhere near the basket, and he ran that down.
Yeah, I thought the Hilltoppers had that one easily. The shot taken by the Hilltoppers is off. Long rebound comes out to Zach Morrow. He gets to Eddie Garch. 3-point shot by Eddie. That's off. Rebound comes down once again to Sam James. James will get it up to Justin Mask. Mask underneath. Wide open is Joe Jack. And that's
so Marco Cedabach actually put a rule into his team. You cannot be on the team if you have less than 4 first names. I don't know why. I don't know why you did that, but he did it. So.
Really?
Got Sam James, Joe Jack, Jack Johnson.
Yeah, that is hilarious.
There's a few in there.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
But the Toppers taking a full timeout here. So they are down to 2 fulls and a 30. Chargers have 3 fulls going the rest of the way. 20-point ball game here, 52-32. And boy, you know, we've been in the situation a couple of times in this ball game, Gene. You just, you know, the Toppers look like they're on the verge of getting right back into it. And you know, in fact, I was starting to think a little while ago when they were down by 12. You know, if they can get this under 10, you know, that's going to put a lot of pressure on the Chargers, and then the Chargers have just answered back every single time the Toppers have made a move on them.
Yeah, they really have. And that Sam James, he's a 6'3" junior, but I mean, he did not play in the first half, but he's really made his presence known here in the second half. Hilltoppers will inbound it coming out of the timeout. Eddie Gard's 3-point shot. That is off. Rebound comes down to Kellen Garris. Garris tells everybody, head down the court. Here comes Garris. Garris bounces it. I mean, what a move. Sam James comes down the baseline on the left side. A little short jumper by Sam James, and he drops it in. But Kellen Garris was dribbling down the floor, and then he just kept dribbling. And when he got near almost to the top of the key, he just simply off his dribble, he just dribbled it backwards. And a normal dribble. I mean, he's just dribbling. It looked like he's going to make another dribble. He just simply dribbled it backwards to one of the Chargers who was trailing him. I mean, it was. You don't see a whole lot of that, but the Hilltoppers now are going to put Ben McBride on the free throw line, as we had a personal foul. That went to Joe Jack. That was his second. That is the third team foul. And Ben McBride puts it in. He now has 3 points in the ball game, and he's going to shoot one more. This one also good. So let's see. The Hilltoppers have not missed a free throw. Oh, once again, Joe Jack trying to power his way right down the middle of Broadway, and the Hilltoppers have been nothing doing. Boy, they double teamed him right away and then just stole the ball away from him. Comes now to Josiah Frescas. Inside, they try to get it to Rick Valdez. They do. Rick makes a nice move to the basket, puts it up a little short. He had a little short jumper right in front of the basket. Didn't get it over the front of the rim. Kellen Garris coming in. He's going to be either going to be a foul or he's going to be called for traveling. Nope. That's going to
go to Archuleta. That's his second, but that very well could have been a travel. That was very, very close.
Yes, it certainly was. And so another 3-point shot from the corner. Long rebound comes down to Ben McBride. McBride decides to wait, get it to Frescas. Josiah will bring it across the timeline, 54-34. Right now, a 20-point game. There's Academy on top. Josiah in the half-court circle brings it to Eddie Gartz on the right wing. They bounce it underneath and trying to dribble it across the lane that time. Rick Valdez, as he was trying to get it to Ben McBride. Pass down the floor, picked off by Josiah Frescas. And
a little whistle.
They're going to call Kellen Garris. And I think maybe Kellen was a deliberate foul because the Hilltoppers had a breakaway fast break.
So, yeah, you're not supposed to be able to foul somebody in that situation. Officials didn't like that. That was, I think Garris made it look just incidental enough to get away with it, but they usually don't. A lot of officials don't like you to do that.
No, they don't. Sam James, and now gets a personal, and so that's the 5th team foul in Academy. And so Luke Archuleta, he cans a 3 for Los Alamos and makes it now 54-37. Starting to go with the 3, decided to change his mind, gets to Kellen Garris. Garris trying to go to the basket, cut off by Josiah Frescas, but he dishes it underneath to Justin Mass, heading right down the middle of the lane, and Mass puts it in for 2. He has 12 points, makes it 56-37. We got 40 seconds to go. They bring it now to Ben McBride. Ben McBride. He puts up a And he puts it, the Hilltopper steals it away, and they get it to Josiah Frescas. Frescas going up against Sam James, and what he did was he just went by James and then went to the other side of the basket, came up with a reverse layup. And so Josiah, nice move by him, 11 points in the ball game right now with 56-39. And we've got 6.6 seconds to go. We're going to have a substitution here. I don't understand, but anyway, Ethan Mundergun's going to come in for Frescas. I'm going to give him a 6.6 second.
Yeah, that's going to give him an extra 6.6 seconds. He'll be fresh as a daisy starting the fourth quarter.
They bring it to Kellen Garris. Garris is going to penetrate in, put it up, and in.
Wow.
So Kellen Garris just took it to the hole.
You can't even defend that. I mean, that's almost not fair. There was just no way to stop him.
No, there wasn't. Not at all.
Wow, what great move by Garrett. Great move right there at the end to finish off by Frescas, going the reverse layup underneath the basket and going up against James. Had he tried to go up against James straight up one-on-one, James had him cold.
Oh, he did.
Just a great move under the basket by Josiah. That gives him 13 points for this ball game. So it's a 19-point ball game right now, Gene.
Yeah,
what do you say? What are the Toppers not doing well tonight? Actually, not much. They have had a pretty good ball game. Just Academy has just been on the offensive end, has been almost unstoppable. They have so many weapons, and you just got to pick your poison, and they're just very, very tough to stop. But Los Alamos has played a pretty good ball game tonight.
Yeah, they really have. They played very well. The whole difference is that the Hilltopper offense has been a good offense, and they've done well against Academy, very well against Academy defense. The difference in the ball game, of course, is the Hilltopper defense has not been able to slow down or stop the attack by Academy, especially underneath that basket. And it's an Academy with a lot of talent, I tell you. So Hilltopper's inbound to start the fourth quarter, and working against that zone once again comes to Josiah Frescas. He's way out on top. Skip pass across, comes all the way down into the right corner, back to Frescas on top. 3-point shot from way out there. Fight for the ball. We're going to have a held ball. This is going to go to Rick Valdez. Rick Valdez tying it up with Andres Rivera, and the alternating possession will go to Academy.
And both gentlemen ended up on the floor, and they were having a pretty good tussle. Afterwards, they picked each other up. Hey, good effort.
Yes, it was.
And hey, that's how you play the game. And when it's over, it's over.
And Joe Jack puts up the shot, a 3-point shot, and then he flops, and referees didn't buy that one.
No, he was looking right at it too, and just play on.
That was a terrible flop too.
It wasn't a very good flop. No. It was a little weak, but you can't all be they can't all be World Cup level flops. So.
Yeah. Really.
But in any event, the Toppers call a timeout. There's call a 30, so they have 3 fulls remaining for the Chargers. 58-39 in the fourth quarter here, just underway in the fourth quarter. And boy, oh boy, this has been an entertaining game. It'd be nice if it'd be a little closer, but yeah, tell me what the Toppers are doing wrong tonight. Really not much. It's just, the Chargers very, very good, but Los Alamos has generally held its own.
Yeah, they really have. And they played, like we keep emphasizing, they played a very good offensive game as the ball is now stolen away from Luke Archuleta, and Archuleta and they pick up the floor. And so Joe Jack, and then he zings it down the floor to Justin Mask. And Mask puts it in for 2. Makes it 60-39 right now. Josiah Frescas with it. Backs out near the half-court line. And they're going to bring it over on the right side. The Hilltoppers quite a ways out from the 3-point line. They get it down in the corner now to Luke Archuleta. Archuleta on the dribble almost has the ball stolen away. Picked up now by Ethan Mondragon. Mondragon will get it back out to Josiah, top of the key. Josiah gets a screen and then tries to cut down over to the left side. A pass on left-handed pass intended for Ethan Mondragon. He's overthrown.
So, Jane, you said Topper's way too far to attempt a shot. There's no such thing for Josiah. If he's on the floor, he's in range.
And it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't even matter what side of the timeline he's on.
No, at all. So trying to penetrate in that time. Good defense by Los Alamos. Justin Mask, as Mask tried to move in against Rick Valdez. Great defense by Rick. And so the Academy once again will start. They're going to bring it down in the corner. The pass is dropped by Joe Jack. And Jack picks it up, gets it out on top. 3-point shot. That's good by Dylan McCleskey. And I have McCleskey now for 11 points. And that makes it 63-39. And we have 5.5 minutes to go. So the Hilltoppers need to pick up the intensity a little bit. There's a 3-point shot from the left corner by Ethan Mondragon. And in for Ethan. And that makes it 63-42.
And McCleskey right back answering with a 3 of his own right at the top of the key. Well, that was a nice stroke there by McCleskey.
Skip pass comes across all the way to the right wing. Now they bring it out into the corner. Another 3-point shot taken by Los Alamos. Joe Jack with the rebound for Academy. He'll bring it up himself. Crosses the timeline, pulls up, and now he gets it to Dylan McCleskey. McCleskey from way out there to forget the 3-point line. I mean, McCleskey was out there. Josiah Fresca says, I can do this. And he does it. And so Josiah Fresca, he just dribbles up there about the same place that McCleskey did and pops it. Makes it 66-45.
I don't believe that was an accident that he shot it from that point.
No, I don't think it was either. And so we have a charger on the floor, and we're going to have a personal foul called against Los Alamos. And that one's going to go to Rick Valdez. That's his second personal.
Here we are. Here midway through the fourth quarter. That's only his second personal on Valdez. He usually has that in about 3 minutes.
Yes, yes, in the first half. So the common foul, so be inbounded by Academy under their own basket. So they bring it out now and they hand it to Dylan McCleskey. McCleskey on the dribble gets a screen, comes around the screen, dishes it back out on top. And we should have a traveling violation, and we do. Justin Mask. I'm not sure. As Mike said just a little while ago, just like Josiah, I don't think he knew what he wanted to do with the ball. He kind of picked up the dribble, and then at that point, he was lost. Ended up moving his pivot foot 66-45 with 3:45 to go here in this ball game. Hilltopper just playing catch out on top. Now they bring it to Eddie Gartz over in the right corner, and Zach Morrow hands it over to Josiah Frescas. The Hilltoppers not attacking anything at the moment. Now finally Eddie Gartz wants to put up the 3, but he gets it to Josiah. Long rebound off of Josiah's shot, pulled down by Zach Morrow. He gets it back to Frescas. Skip pass across from Frescas over to Kyle Evanhoose. Evanhoose with the shot. Nice rebound by Rick Valdez to pull it down. So the Hilltoppers moving the ball around, but haven't been able to convert any. Now Josiah Frescas once again, that pass over into the corner. This one to Kyle Evanhoose. His shot is off. So the Hilltoppers moving the ball around and getting open shot. But all the open shots are from the 3-point line. And like I say, you either live by the 3 or you die by the 3. And so anyway, penetrating in for Academy is Dylan McCleskey. He's still on the floor. And we're going to have a personal foul, and that one's going to go to Zach Morrow. That's his second personal 15 foul. And so let's see. Dylan McCluskey, well, he's okay. He's up. And Carlos C. DeBaca, the head coach of the Academy, I think he's going to.
I think you're going to make McCluskey go out here.
Yes, he is.
And so, but they happen to have Kellen Garris on the bench at the time. So wisely, Marco Cidabaca subs him in to take the free throws.
Yeah, it has to be a player on the bench. You can't take an active player. So here, one of their best free throw shooters, like Mike says, happens to be on the bench.
Yeah, I think it was about the 5 seconds in this entire ball game. Garris has been on the bench, and just so happened to be. And Marcos didn't really have to think much about who to sub in.
No, he really didn't. Zach Morrow on the baseline, a little 15-footer on the baseline, long pass down the floor. We have a new player in for Academy right now, Jack Johnson. So Jack Johnson is checked in, and so now also coming into the ball game is Dante Lucero. So right now, Carlos C. DeBaca with 2:28 to go in the ball game, and a 68-45 lead is starting to clean his bench. Shot taken from outside by Kellen Garris. That's off. Rebound comes down to the Hilltoppers quickly up the floor. They get it to Josiah Frescas. That pops around inside the rim. I thought that was going to pop out. It pops around forever, and then it pops right back down. So a three-point shot for Josiah makes it 68-48.
That hit the rim hard. I didn't think it had a prayer of going in.
I don't think it did either. The way that thing was rattling around inside. Whoa, what a move. That time, Jack Johnson, 5'10 junior, as he's come into the ballgame. And boy, I tell you, that was a beautiful move by Johnson to the basket. Now we're going to have a personal foul charge against the Academy. And that's going to go to Kellen Garris. He's got 3 now. That is a 6-team foul. So the Hilltoppers common foul. They'll inbound it. They get it to Eddie Gart. Skip pass from the left side over to the right side. And now they try another skip pass back from the left side to the right side, knocked out of bounds by Academy. 70-48. They'll bring it all the way out on top now over to Zach Morrow. Morrow pulls up on the free throw line, gets to Eddie Gartz. Gartz wants to shoot the 3. And Academy says nothing doing. Pat gets the ball inside right now to Samuel Carmer. Carmer was open, but he couldn't get the handle on the ball. So
I think they're going to call it travel here.
I don't know what they're calling.
I think that's what they signaled. I didn't see a travel.
I did not either. Kellen Garris is going to get in and get it inside, and taking it to the hole that time was Dante Lucero. His shot is off. Rebound comes down to the Hilltoppers. And over to Zach Morrow, 3-point shot by Zach. And that's up and in. 70-51 right now is the score with the 45 seconds to go in this contest. Jack Johnson, boy, there's a 3-point shot from way out, and that's an air ball. Comes right to Zach Morrow. Morrow tries to go behind his back, but he didn't realize that Jack Johnson was trailing him. And that was just a coincidence. He just happened to be trailing him. And then when he tried to go behind his back, he put the ball right in front of Johnson. Johnson knocked it away, and then on the battle for it, it finally goes out of bounds off of Academy. Hilltoppers inbound it. And Eddie Gartz has his pass inside blocked. Comes right now to Zach Morrow, out to Eddie Gartz. Gartz over to Kyle Evanhus. Kyle out on top to Gartz. Evanhus inside the 3-point line, gets it to Samuel Carmer. To Ben McBride, Ben McBride. And McBride puts it in for 3.
That was a pretty good looking three there by McBride.
Yes, it was.
And that is your final buzzer. The Albuquerque Academy Chargers win this one 70-54 over the Toppers tonight. Sound like a pretty one-sided ball game. Didn't actually feel that way though.
No, it wasn't.
Pretty back and forth. The Chargers jumped to the early lead and were able to maintain it. Toppers cut in a couple of times, but every single time the Toppers made a run, tried to get back in the ball game, Academy was right there to answer things. But 70-54. But honestly, pretty complete game for Los Alamos. That was not a bad game at all. A lot of good things we saw there on the offensive end. This was one of the more efficient offensive showings I think we've seen the entire season by Los Alamos. A lot of good things happening. Just unfortunately, a lot of good things happening on Academy's side too, and they just have so many weapons. There wasn't much Topper defense could do to slow them down.
No, in this game, this seems that's the most, I guess you could call it team play that we've seen all season. I mean, they were using everybody and they were making good decisions, good passes. They played a very, very good offensive game. They really did. And as Mike said, it was just that we had no answer for Academy's big guys underneath. And the Academy was, well, they were very good they were good 3-point shooters, but in addition, they really did a good job of penetrating, and then they would draw somebody to the ball, and then they just dish it off. And they had Academy did a really, really good job of their bigger men getting open underneath the basket, and so that was kind of mainly the difference because Academy came up with a lot of easy shots, but they also were pretty wild from the 3-point line too. So, but it was a good game. I was really worried when we came in. The Academy was 9-2. They had all that height, and so and I knew they've been playing very well, and some of the teams that we have played and struggled with, or Academy just had no trouble with them, but. So I thought it was going to be maybe a disaster tonight, but this turned out to be a good ball game. It was a fun ball game, actually, and both teams played very well. And Academy, they just got more open opportunities than the Hilltoppers did, and the height factor did play into it. There isn't any question about that.
Yeah, it really did. But even looking at that, I mean, Ben McBride, the junior, he stuck his nose in there pretty good a few times. He held his own very well underneath the basket most of this ball game, and he ended up with 7 points tonight. Had a 3-pointer late in the ball game. Good looking 3-pointer, as a matter of fact. So I showing some range off there for Ben, but he got some good minutes out of McBride tonight. Carmer did fairly well tonight on the defensive end, all things considered. So really, like I said, you want to fault. You want to find fault with Los Alamos' game tonight. Really not a bad game at all. But there are a lot of good things. A lot of good things going on. Just too many weapons for the Chargers. Some quick scoring for you. Kellen Garris led